Jamal, can you hear us? Jamal, are you able to hear us? What is going on?
All
Can you
right,
hear
now I
us,
can
sir?
hear you. Yeah.
Cool. All right,
Can you hear
great.
me?
Yeah, you sounds great.
All right, man. I'm sorry about that, bro. The Mac was tweaking.
It happens. Don't worry. It's it's live. It's it's gonna
Yeah, I had
happen.
to
These
switch
things
over to
happen.
the iPhone.
All right, cool, man. We appreciate you joining us. I'm glad we were able to get that figured out. How you doing tonight?
I'm pretty good on, bro.
Good. You excited? The album is out sooner than later. It's been a long time in the making. You put the EP out a couple years ago, but to put a full album out, that's exciting. It's been a long time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm extremely excited right now, bro.
Good deal. The album is first off, the album cover is crazy cool. Um,
Thank you.
and then like the album, it kind of like gets you to that point of you lifting off and going into another space. No pun. What is it about the what is it about the title and the art that you were trying to register with the listener? Like, what were you looking to do there?
Basically, man, it was just sooner than later. That's just self-explanatory. Just basically saying that everything's gonna come to light sooner than later. I don't drop music, at the pace of a lot of people, but when I do drop, I want it to count for something. I don't drop anything unless I feel it. So, as far as the album cover, man, I just wanted to do something different. I didn't want my face. I didn't want my face on this cover. I just wanted something that was, creative. I did something out of space, sitting on the globe, and just drew this little character that I think resembles me with the brain and the lightning bolt. With the glasses, just always being the thinker and out of this world.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a long time since like the Something Wonderful album came out, and I ran into you this summer. Um, I ran into you this summer when we were both grabbing some donuts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
you ain't recognize me because I had the mask on.
I know I sure as hell did it. Like I don't recognize with the mask and like
Yeah,
everyone like if you have a hat on or any like a bunch of garb on, forget about it. It was like
yeah.
and so a lot has happened with you obviously personally. I don't think I'm sharing anything that you haven't already publicized, but you had a new child come into your life, and now your daughter, who was on the album cover, is like almost 10 years older now. So you're starting anew. I mean, you're me and you have a lot of similarities. First off, because I did the same thing. But what is that sort of? Is that like a rejuvenated spirit of making music now? Like you have this a new experience, obviously being a father again. But having that new energy around has to be sort of reinvigorating
Oh
for you.
yeah, it's very inspiring. To have my baby girl Kalani around me, man. This new life. Just make you reevaluate yourself as a father and a person. And yeah, my like you said, my daughter, she did most of the album cover too. Destiny, she's super artistic, man. She's always drawing and everything. So
Yeah.
um, I just wanted her to be a part of this also.
That's fantastic. Oh, so she had like a hand in helping craft the album
Oh
cover.
yeah, she was the one that drew the animated person and me sitting on the globe. That's all her.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like like I wonder what like was going on because it feels kind of like I don't want to say like a kid show, but it kind of has that vibe and feel to it. Like they're like this a young person or a child was designing or it was designed for a child, but also has this very innocence about it. So that's why I really dug it.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I definitely was just going for something eye catching and different. A lot of people uh before they even heard anything on the project, they was like, man, the album art is
Oh
crazy.
yeah,
So that's exactly what I want to do. I just wanted to do something out of the box instead of sitting outside, just doing stuff that people usually do. I just wanted to do something a little different, man.
Yeah, the routine.
We
Yeah.
gotta, and especially from like getting my daughter to help me, is always good to get a perspective from a child sometimes, because they're 100% honest with you. So that's why I did what I did.
Yeah, oh, it's fantastic. The record itself is a super enjoyable listen.
I
There's a lot
appreciate
of
that.
obviously there's a lot of just sort of reflection of what's happening in society, what's happening in Chicago, but also sort of a with the record that you have with that's DJ Sen does a scratch. I think it was the first single. Can I get a witness? That
Yeah.
kind of like what like this sort. I would say imaginary, but like these goals that you're still trying to achieve as being an artist and chasing after that. I think that like it's just like these really strong records, hip hop records that just resonate and have a certain vibe and feel to it. That I think just is shifted a little bit different than some of your other releases, but I think they're a little bit more harder edge because of where we're at currently. So it
Yeah.
feels like there's the edges of the album are a little bit sharper than what you normally do.
Yeah, man. Of course, we had a hell of a year with everything that's going on right now. So it was just, you know, important for me to talk about things that's going on and things that could resonate with people today.
Yeah.
We just got so much going on in the world right now, man. It's cool to do the party and turn up music, but we can't ignore what's going outside. Somebody has to address that. So I just always feel like in everybody at work I always try to talk about something that's going on within that matter of time.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a record on here, "Remember Me," and I was wondering if that's if you already kind of thinking of your own mortality and where you're at and like where you are or your impact in hip hop, not even just Chicago, but just like your contributions. Have you reflected and given that some thought, and that's where this idea came from?
Yeah, it definitely did. I mean, we've all once or twice thought about our what would our legacy be, once we perish from this planet we call Earth. So I was just writing, hoping that if don't nobody remember me from anything else, they remember me words. And
Right.
this song was inspired by Tupac too. So
Mm. That Tupac seems to be coming up a lot. We had Neek on last week to talk about his new album, and there was a couple moments throughout his record. Tupac came up. I'm interested why like Tupac is starting to making this resurgence back into the culture. It's not like he's ever went away, but it feels like his presence is being more felt.
well, for me, he's always been like one of my favorite artists. Besides Nas, I was a heavy Tupac fan. This go back from the time me and my cousin Vincent, Vincent, as a lot of people know him, used to burn the All Eyes on Me on tapes when we used to dub on tapes and walk through the block on the Walkman, just geeking, listening to the album front to back on tapes. So Pac always been a big influence on me. I used to try to master drawing the Machiavelli cover. I thought that was just like so crazy how he did that.
Yeah.
Um, so for me, he's always been an influence, and he's always been a great leader too. And speaking about social injustice and everything that's going on, he was a Black Panther. So I mean, that's a powerful guy, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Who was I noticed that Fable get as like featured on half this album.
My
You,
boy,
no,
boy,
I love Fable too. He's fantastic.
that's my brother. I love that dude to death. He know that. That's my brother. Yeah, man. I just talked to him yesterday. I talk to him, every day. But I was just telling him that this album wouldn't have been the same without his imprint on it. Like it was some things that I needed to bring to life that I knew that only he could do.
Right.
That I can't sing. So he's an amazing singer. He's an amazing MC. He's an amazing producer. He's amazing clothing designer. Like he's just this big package rolled up in one. And I just wanted him to be a part of this with me, man. He smoked everything he touched on that project.
Yeah, no, he's fantastic. Have you
Yeah.
guys thought about doing just sort of a collaborative, like either like an EP or 4-song
Oh,
collection of just like, you know, I hate to use the best of both worlds, but you know, something
yeah.
to that effect.
Nah, that's inevitable. That's definitely gonna happen. In probably the first or second quarter next year for sure. But he got a project coming out that I don't think nobody ready for. It's so amazing. It's so different. You know, I think he gonna break the mold with this project.
I can't wait. I know. I think him and Neek and they just put out a video together. Was it
Hmm.
last week they came out? The video was just absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what he's up to. I'm always excited to all you guys, what you guys are up to whenever you're putting new records out, because I'm just a fan of the music itself, but also just because there's a authenticity and a genuine sound about it that you guys are still making that have purpose and an intended impact that I don't sometimes hear with the broader scope of artists who are making music. So I'm always a fan. What this so you guys so you're this was co-released with Moment, you and Panic
Right.
together. And what how did this thing start like to take form? Did you kind of have an idea to put together them, or was like did someone like did he or someone from Moment kind of approach you like it's time? Like what got the engines revving?
Basically, me and him just talking. Basically saying, you know, it's time to do another project. This
Yeah,
project, honestly, like 4 to 5 years in the making, just because I
sure.
went through life. He was going through a lot. So
Yeah.
again, I'm a person that believe you know, dropping music when it's time. I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses. I feel like if it's a great body of work, it's gonna stand the test of time. I like to I was talking to my father about it when I had to push the release another week because we were still tweaking, mixing, and mastering. Shout out to my
Mm.
man Private Stock. But I was telling my dad like he was looking for it, and I'm like, you know, I had to push it another week because we're doing some tweaking. And he was like Rakim said, I say no rhyme before it's time. And when he told
Mm.
me, you know, yeah, that's what it's about. Like, you know, when it's time, it's time. And right now is the perfect time. And an oddly messed up year, one of the worst years ever.
Well, what was there any consideration? Like maybe I just like punt this to 2021, and
Yeah.
maybe you know it might. But I think it's like it's because like there's a lot of the content kind of like is appropriate for what's happening. So I feel like it's in the moment to release something like this. Like
Mhm.
and it's not directly. It's like at no point I think you say like COVID or you know, but it's just kind of like the overall sense of what's happening in the country, what's happening in our communities, of a sense of I don't want to say desperation, but like there's a lot of negativity floating around. There's always an opportunity for something terrible to happen, and you kind of like capture like you know just sort of being aware of what's happening around us, and you do that a lot on a lot of the records, and
Mhm.
I think that's a fair point. At any point like something is out there you know whether in the air or just something could happen, and I like the way that you capture that and just tell these stories of like even on what was it the heaven, you know, it's like it captures what's happening every day in these streets.
Yeah, you gotta keep your head on the swivel and know what's going on out here, man. It's almost now it's you can't even ignore it. It's right there in your
Right.
that's going on. So, you know, again, I just try to bring that to the forefront and to light. Like it's good to, you know, do the, you know, the party records and all that. That's just never been me. But I'm just always about bringing awareness and things to the forefront.
Yeah. I mean, you've always been like an MC's MC, right? Like I don't think like and I'm not saying that you can't do a party record, but you've always kind of written songs that have a deep story to it, or it's punctuated with some sort of lesson or something that, you know, is can be explained. And you know, that's fine. There's nothing wrong, but like you. So I understand that you take this writing and being a hip hop artist or artist in general are very serious. There's really like there's no space to like experiment and start doing dance records because that's not what your speed is.
Right. Yeah, I appreciate you for calling me an MC's MC. I believe that too, but I'm not perfect. I definitely tried to dabble in like making the party records, and it didn't go over well. Like, I just know my lane. Like I made a couple that I'm not gonna give you the names to, but it's like, yeah, that wasn't it. So, I just know my lane, man, and I just stay in my lane, but at the same time try to, reinvent my sound every time, not trying to stay in the box.
Yeah. I think there's always room to grow as an artist without having to jump the shark, and just do something wildly inappropriate that could just like sway opinion. And then like you were so much better when you were doing the older stuff. I think that's like the worst compliment someone could get because it just means that not growing.
That's the Nas and Illmatic bit.
Yeah.
That man is in his 50s. Like, he's not going to give you what he was when he was at 18 years old. That was back then. Like, people got to stop doing that, man. They got to let the artist grow.
Oh, absolutely. And I think far too often people get stuck. And I try not to do as a listener of music. Even though like the Something Wonderful album is still an amazing listen to, and I check it out from time to time. I always find myself going back to it, but I try not to, as a listener, get too caught up back in. And I've made a point to myself as like, you can get into these playlists from the 90s and the early 2000s and all these classic records, and you can find yourself conditioning yourself to only listening to that and not opening yourself up to accepting something that's new or newer from someone that you love from 10, 20 years ago, because you just conditioned your mind to like, this is all I'm going to like from them. And this is the only thing I will ever accept. I've been trying to divert myself from doing that and spending too much time in those classic records or those portals of the internet, because it can really corrupt the way you think and listen to music.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like I said, it's just always best to, some people kill themselves artistically trying to stay in that realm to please fans,
right?
Trying to stick to that sound, or I got to create this sound, or, even sometimes it's almost like a curse, like when people do a part 2 of an album that they drop. Like AZ got this Do or Die 2 coming out, and I'm like, it could be like, what if it ain't Do or Die? You know what I mean? Just like Coming to America. I'm not looking forward to that. Like, Coming to America is one of my favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
What if America 2 is not good and can't live up to that? That's Coming to America is a classic.
Right.
It's just, sometimes, but then again, it's the fans that make the artists like that, where the artists feel like I have to stay in this box. They want this sound, and they can end up assassinating themselves in the same breath.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not. The funny thing about the AZ thing is like I talked to him back in like 2010, right when I was in the podcasting. We got him as a guest, and that 2010 was when Do or Die 2 was supposed to come.
Oh yeah, he's been making that for a while, but I definitely hope to hear it. It seemed like he was dropping some stuff a couple weeks ago about it, so it might see the light this year or early next year.
Yeah, Muddy Waters 2 also has been like in the works for a decade. Yeah. But I will say though, Busta Rhymes Extinction Level Event 2 is phenomenal.
Definitely,
it is amazingly good, and I didn't expect that. So maybe these OGs in the game may have something left to deliver. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
What is it about like Panic is such an iconic producer in Chicago and has stamped his legacy so many times. Like, what is it still like to get music from him or like get his feedback on any record that you're working on?
That's dope, man. It's always good to get game from the OG, man. Like you said, man, he's one of the Chicago legends in this hip hop thing, bro. Like,
yeah,
definitely one of the Mount Rushmore Chicago producers for the underground to do it. Yeah, man, it's always great to get good feedback, but it's also good as an artist because we get to pull things out of each other. So at certain times he'll pull the best out of me, and then sometimes I pull the best out of him, and we'll both inspire each other. But yeah, man, it's definitely good to still be working with him.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that he's still working. I've been begging Kill to put that damn album out, God's Guns.
Not to be biased though, man. I think this might be some of his best work he's done in a while.
Yeah. No, I think the production on this thing, did he how much of did he do, and did he do the entire record?
He did 8 out of I think 8 songs, or 7 out of 10. I did 2 and he did the rest.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so it's the production on this thing is fantastic. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, he shotgunned the whole thing on the production side. I just sprinkled some of mine in the end, because it was gonna be just all Panic production, and then a couple of the joints I had, I'm like, these joints have fit perfect on this project. So, you know, I put them on there, and you know, we synchronized them and everything, and it sounded good. So it was like, yeah, these were meant to stay on there.
Well, I'm so glad you mentioned that, because now I remember that, like, for I think it was a year or two ago, right when you were starting to get into making beats, and you were doing like these IG videos, like, yo, I got this one, and I'm like, yo, these are hot. Like, why are you selling these? I should just be holding on to these.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I've been making beats for a long time, since I was 14. Yeah, I got so many of those beats that I can, you know, give some to other artists. You know, I do the Kanye West thing and sit on, you know, some of the best stuff for myself. With 2021, when I do my self-produced project, it'll be a lot of the stuff that people may have heard from, you know, IG clips and everything. But yeah, man, I got so many beats, man. I don't mind getting other people on my production.
Yeah.
Dope. So
what is it about what inspires you when you start like working on a production or a beat? Like, what it usually does it? Is it like a sample, or do you start working on drums? What like kind of kickstarts it?
Most of the time for me, it's the sample. It's the sample. I have an idea, get the sample and start building around it. Like a theme. I've been like for the last couple of years, I've been on a real like heavy gospel kick. I've been making a lot of like soulful gospel beats. That's just been like my bag lately. Like I can't shake it. You know what I'm saying? I'm always digging in the stores and online digging. I'm doing a lot of online now. I haven't been in the stores since the pandemic hit. But yeah, man, just sampling, or even if I'm doing all original music, just finding like a nice melody or something, playing with some Rhodes or something like that. And then I usually build around that. I rarely start off with drums sometimes.
Yeah. Being a father again, like, what's the best part about being a dad?
Seeing everything all over again.
I know, right? It's crazy. I agree. Yeah, 1,000%.
Because it may have been a couple of things I forgot when my first daughter was born that I'm seeing again. I was like, oh my God, I remember I did go through that. You know, just seeing them, you know, crawl and everything, man, and smile and all that. And my daughter's first tooth just came in. Like, oh, it's just amazing.
Wow. Yeah, I agree. Like, it's I was with the oldest, I was still I was in my senior year at Columbia, and I was juggling 2 part-time jobs. So I was never home. And so I missed a lot.
Yeah.
So with this with our new baby, it was like I was like there to actually like put him to sleep and pick him up in the night and do a lot of those things I didn't get to do with my oldest. So it was like I felt like I got a do-over in a sense, you know, and it's such a crazy feeling, like you said, like you're like, oh, I remember doing this, oh, I remember this, or like I don't remember this happening with the older one.
Yeah.
So it's a brand new experience.
Those new memories to cherish, man, you know.
Well, I mean, now because our phones are way better than 10 years ago when I was using the BlackBerry. So now you can just like capture everything, which my phone is just completely filled up with videos and photos of the youngest and the oldest. So like I feel bad that like my we didn't get more stuff with the oldest one, but you know we're making up for it. So it's all good.
Yeah, they definitely are a blessing, man.
Absolutely. Well, man, the new album is fantastic. Sooner than later, it's all available on all streaming platforms, courtesy of Moment Records. Jamal Science, man, thank you for joining us. You're going to be at 9 o'clock. You're going to be playing the record in its entirety. Where can people go hear it and follow you and listen to it?
Yeah, I'm gonna be playing Sooner Than Later, the whole album on my IG Live. My Instagram is at Jamal Science. I'll be starting at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time tonight. So if you guys got time, come head over, man. Listen to some tunes, and then hit the link in my bio. I got the album on all streaming platforms right there. Also, I got the video out for the album Half Man, Half Amazing on YouTube. So go check that out. And shout out to Boy Panic, and shout out to my man Jason for mixing and mastering the whole project, and everybody that was featured on there.
Private Stock.
Yes, sir. That's my man.
Oh, shout out to Private Stock. They do excellent work.
Yeah, man. He's a wizard with that, man. He like definitely took his time, and it just sounds incredible. I've heard this album on every audio thing that I could possibly hear it on: headphones, car, studio monitors, little speakers, everything, and it sounds incredible.
Yeah, no, it's wonderfully done, man. I know I'm biased, but it just sounds absolutely excellent. I highly encourage everyone to give it a try and put it into their lives at least once.
Thank you so much for having me on, man. I appreciate you, man. We've known each other for quite a while, man, and you've always looked out for me and always gave me your platform to do my thing on, and I just want to let you know I appreciate that, brother.
Absolutely, man. Well, keep making great music, and you make it easier for me.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jamal Science, man. Enjoy the rest of your night. 9 o'clock, go jump on his Instagram and hang out with them. Thank you, man, for joining us.
All right, man. Peace. Take it easy, bro.
All right, Jamal Science. Sooner than later, the new album. Go check it out. Put it into your lives. It is the thing to do. Our next guest.